everyone, my name is Emily Pont and my presentation is about cultural diversity in foster care. So my workshop objective is this presentation is for any educators, foster parents, and future foster parents. This presentation is going into depth about cultural diversity and inclusion with foster care students within the classroom. We are going to talk about key issues, how to incorporate universal design into the classroom, and how to support students living in the foster care system. There are absolutely no limits to the number of characteristics that determine diversity. In Module 1, we learned about different types of diversity that can be in the workplace. The article Types of Diversity in the Workplace, you need to know, states throughout an individual's life, the unique biological and genetic predispositions, experiences, and education alter who they are as a person. So I have some examples of cultural diversity right here, which is race, ethnicity, religion, language, gender, age, and disability. Cultural diversity is the existence of variety of cultures groups within a society. Individuals can interact and learn from one another as a result of these encounters, which help to diversify and evolve community. I'm going to focus on cultural diversity within the foster care system. According to a blog called How Does the Foster Care System Works, states the foster care system is meant to provide a temporary arrangement in which trained caregivers, including kinship or relative caregivers, provide the care of a child when a biological parent or parents are unable to care for them. Oftentimes, these children, who range in age from newborns to teens, have experienced unsafe conditions, abuse, neglect, or have parents who are unable to care for them. As a result, these children are removed from their parents' care. So again, a child could be in the foster care system when there are no family or friends available to care for that child during a parent's incarceration in prison or in jail, and there is no age limit that a child can go in. But they have like an age gap where they can be aged out at the age of 18. Foster care is culturally diverse by definition. Children who have abused or neglected are placed in strangers' home, where their expectations and communication methods are vastly different from their own. Foster children must learn to adopt to norms and customs that are different from their own. Some people have never had a birthday party, never had a curfew, and some haven't been bathed on a regular basis. According to the article, Cultural Diversity in Foster Care states, some argue that a child's transition into a foster home can be less traumatic by placing him or her with foster parents of the same race or religion. Others say that race and religion should not play a role in where the child is placed. They feel that the child should go to any foster family who is ready, willing, and able to care for them. When possible, many child welfare agencies try to place the child in foster homes of the same race and religion, but this can be difficult when there are few foster families of the same race or religion in that specific area. Acceptance that a child learns at home can have a long-term influence in how he or she views the world. The same article talks about how the foster children in the home may be other races of religion too. So many foster families enjoy honoring their foster child's culture by making special foods or celebrating different holidays in their homes, as well as sharing their own dishes and traditions. I think it should not matter if the family is of a different type of race or even religion, if they are ready to foster, they should get that opportunity. In Module 1, there was an article we read called 12 Workplace Diversity Statistics You Should Know in 2020, and they state that because increased diversity means a wider range of perspectives and broader understanding that can be positively impacted creativity. Placing a child in a family that is diverse from them can be preparing them for the world. This can teach them how to have an open mind, be accepting of one's differences, and how to love a person even if they are different from you. So, connections to universal design. In Module 2, we learn about universal design and the 7 principles. According to the article, What is Universal Design? States, universal design is the design of composition of an environment so that it can be accessed, understood, and used to the greatest extent possible by people regardless of their age, size, ability, and disability. Principle 1 is about the design that is useful and marketable to people with diverse abilities. The foster care system as a whole is really useful. There definitely can be improvements to make it better, as well as making it more welcoming to the people with diverse abilities. Principle 2 is about the design accommodating a wide range of individual preferences and abilities. I believe the foster care system does its best on providing comfort and individual attention, but can always be improved. Principle 3 is about the use of a design that is easy to understand regardless of the user's experience, knowledge, language skills, or current concentration level. I personally have not been in the foster care system, but I have done lots of research on being an advocate for the foster children and the care that they are receiving in the foster system. And this is another principle that can be worked on. When children first interact with a social worker, there can be barriers such as the ones described in Principle 3. I believe the biggest struggle here is the knowledge and understanding of what the child is about to go through. The social worker should take the time to sit down with them and explain to them what is going to happen and be sure to reassure them that everything is going to be okay. Of course, the social worker will have to understand their age to know how to talk to the child. Principle 4 is about the design communicating necessary information effectively to the user regardless of conditions or the user's sensory abilities. This also is important. The social worker should only be telling the child information that is most necessary. Principle 5 is about the design minimizes hazardous and adverse consequences of accidental or unintended actions. Everyone makes mistakes, and so can the system. Foster care system is supposed to place a child in good hands, and sometimes this doesn't always happen. The child can be placed with a foster family that is abusive or can even show neglect towards the child. It is important for the social worker to listen to the child and to look out for possible signs. Principle 6 is about the design that can be used efficiently and comfortably with a minimum of fatigue. I am sure when first entering the foster system, it can be very overwhelming. I would hope that the social workers are doing their best to help the child walk through their emotions. And Principle 7 is about the appropriate size and space is provided for approach, reach, manipulation, and the use regardless of the user's body, size, posture, and mobility. I know in group homes for foster children, it can get very crowded. The foster system should work on making enough room for these children. How to support living in foster care. In the U.S. today, more than 400,000 children are in the foster care at any given time, and they have high likelihood of having experienced neglect or physical, sexual, or emotional abuse, according to Jill Rowland, director of the Alliance for Children's Rights. It is important for an educator to use these bullet points above to support a foster care student. So that means create a sense of safety, giving students a sense of control of their environments, ensuring them that the students feel connected, and to also teach self-regulation skills. While culture refers to a shared worldview, schools as culturally inclusive communities must first and foremost relate to individual students in order to meet the diverse needs of students who make up such communities. It is important to create a classroom where everyone feels welcomed. Teachers and students must form relationships with one another in order to create a culturally inclusive classroom community. Respected teachers encourage their students. A classroom environment should be set up for all students. This means having books and posters around the classroom for students to relate to. In Module 3, we learned about inclusive environments. The article, Strategies for Building an Inclusive Workplace, states it's a worthwhile goal for an employer to create an environment where employees of every demographic feel welcomed, supported, and able to succeed. This sentence can work inside the classroom as well. Teachers need to create an environment where their students of every demographic feel welcomed and are able to succeed. So over here, steps to make students feel welcomed. You can learn their name, take time for them to ask questions, share a story, to talk about themselves or even in their life. One-on-one conversations with students, connecting with parents, see yourself as a student see you, so the way that you talk to them and your body language. Know your content, so just demonstrate your knowledge to the students. Advocates in the workplace. So I chose Julian Mercado and then I chose Amazon. But in Module 5, we learn about Bari Williams, and she advocates for diversity and inclusion. She does a great job explaining the importance of diversity and inclusion and how companies can make an impact. The one thing that stuck out to me was when she said, "This isn't right, but I'm not sure how to fix it. I should ask for help." It takes a humble person to ask for help. Leaders are frequently under pressure to have all the right answers, and it is perfectly fine if they don't. Recognizing this and seeking help has a lot of power. So Julian Mercado is a model, and she models for Diesel, for Nordstrom, Target, and has done merchandise for Beyonce. And she is a vocal advocate for better participation of disabled models in the fashion business. And Amazon, they feel that they are cultivating a welcoming and inclusive culture is critical to employees by performing at their best and to the company's success. They aggressively hire people from a variety of backgrounds in order to create a welcoming and inclusive environment. They take measures to ensure that employees feel like they belong, they are valued, and have opportunities. Key connections and takeaways. So key connection number 1 is we are the change makers. Children look to us for guidance, knowledge, and safety. Incorporate diversity and inclusion in your classroom. Believe in them, value them, challenge them, and love them. Educators need to establish a culturally inclusive classroom in which students are encouraged to spread the ideas of inclusion and cultural respect in their daily lives. Providing equal access to school and encouraging acceptance towards individuals who are different or have special needs. Okay, sorry, it cut me off, but back to what I was saying. Educators should inspire students to share this appreciation for diversity beyond the classroom by teaching them about the contributions that different cultures make of our society. Cultural thinking, problem solving, and creativity are encouraged in integrated and diverse classrooms. Opportunities to learn. Here are 3 articles I would like for you to look at and gain more knowledge about how to include diversity and inclusion in the classroom. So the first one is the benefits of inclusion and diversity in the classroom. The second one is supporting students living in foster care. And the third one is the value of inclusive education. And this is my references. So thank you for watching.